Welcome back, guys, to another Clash Royale video, and today I'm going to be showing off the fire spirits that were buffed in the most recent update, and these things got a pretty huge buff. The area of their splash damage was increased by 25%, and that might not sound like much, but trust me, I've been using this card all morning, and they are extremely strong right now, especially against certain cards like the Minion Horde and Barbarians. These cards for only 2 elixir can give you some pretty huge elixir advantages. Now here is a deck that I'm going to be using in today's video. The one thing I will say about this deck is it doesn't have the most efficient answer to a princess, so if you guys are having a hard time against the princess, you might want to consider throwing in the arrows instead of the minions. But also I have been using this deck all morning at the 3300 trophy mark, so it is a pretty competitive playing field. Now let's go ahead and take a look at some replays here, and then I want to finish off with a live battle. So here we are, guys, with the first replay. Now my opponent here is a level 9, but he does have level 10 commons and a princess in his deck, so he does have a little bit of an advantage over me. Now right at the start, he's going to go ahead and use the elixir pump in the top right corner, and I'm going to be super aggressive with a Hog Rider Musketeer combo, and then I'm going to follow it up with some fire spirits, and watch how much damage these fire spirits do to these level 10 barbarians. They're completely taken out by those fire spirits, and the Musketeer will actually follow up and do some damage to that tower, bringing it all the way down to 1500 health, so a really good opening from us so far. And now right here, he does have a little bit of an elixir advantage. I'm going to sit back and start building up my elixir and wait till 10 before I make my next play. He's going to go ahead and use that wizard in the top left corner there. Now I'm going to go ahead and use the Inferno Tower right in the middle here, which honestly is a little bit of a mistake because he does have a Royal Giant in his deck, and whenever you're facing somebody using the Royal Giant, you want to try and wait for the Royal Giant to cross the bridge before you use the Inferno Tower. But fortunately, I was able to go in on the right hand side with the Hog Rider push and apply some pressure and prevent him from going in with that Royal Giant, and as a result we actually took that tower on the right hand side all the way down to 200 health, and as you just saw right there, the fire spirits doing work yet again against those barbarians, pretty much taking them all out. Now right here, he's going to go in with that Royal Giant. This time I do have the Inferno Tower to defend it, so overall I won't do any damage to my tower, so not too bad right there. And it also blocks that wizard. As you just noticed, the wizard actually walked around the Royal Giant and didn't do any support for him. Now right here, watch this, guys, I got 3 minions going in there. He has a princess in the back. I kind of thought about using the zap spell there to stun that princess and stun the tower, and maybe I would have been able to get the minions to take out that tower, but I didn't want to overextend and waste that zap spell, so I was playing a little bit conservative right there. And right there, he used the fire spirits to try and protect his princess, but unfortunately he was just a half a second too late. Now watch this, guys, barbarians are defending against my Hog Rider, but the fire spirits will sneak in there and the Musketeer will finish off those barbarians. And take a look at this Musketeer, guys. Look at how much value I got out of this one Musketeer. She took out the barbarians, she took out that wizard, and she's also doing damage to this Royal Giant, so huge value right there for that one Musketeer. Now right here, the princess is doing some damage to my Inferno Tower. I'm going to go ahead and use the goblins once again to try and take her out, but this time he uses the fire spirits correctly to protect that princess, and as a result I have to use the minions to take her out. Now right here, guys, the wizard is going to take out those barbarians. I'm going to go ahead and use the Musketeer from the side to take out that wizard. And we got 14 seconds left in this battle. He drops a pump to try and protect his tower. I'm going to go all in with this push right here to try and take out this tower and give me the victory, and as a result I will take out that tower and I will get the 1 crown victory. Let's go ahead and take a look at another battle here. So here we are, guys, with the next replay. Now my opponent here is a level 8, but most of his cards are equal level to mine, and he also has the princess in his deck, so in my opinion that does equalize the playing field a little bit. Now right at the start, he's going to go ahead and place the pump down right in the middle of his base. I'm going to go ahead and do a split push with my barbarians, and watch what he does right here. He drops the princess in between the pump and his tower, and I'm actually going to go all in on this push on the left hand side. Down goes the Hog Rider and down goes the fire spirits, and watch what happens right here, guys. He drops the barbarians to try and defend. Those fire spirits are going to take out all of those barbarians with the help of the zap spell, and look how much damage my Hog Rider does to that tower as a result. Now previously, in a lot of my Hog Rider decks, the barbarians were my arch nemesis because they always killed my Hog Rider before he did any damage to the tower, and then you have to worry about the counter push with all those barbs coming back at you. But honestly, with the fire spirits in my deck right now, I can go in with a Hog Rider push and completely kill all the barbarians that they play on defense. Now you do have to kind of change up your strategy a little bit depending on what kind of cards your opponent is playing. If they are using a cannon or a mini P.E.K.K.A. to defend against your Hog Rider push, you can't really rely on the fire spirits. You have to use some goblins or something else. And also, one great thing with the fire spirits, with a Hog Rider push, a lot of people try and use the minion horde to defend against the Hog Rider, and I've actually noticed a lot of people who do have the minion horde will wait for your fire spirits to attack the tower before they drop their minion horde, and as a result you can do an insane amount of damage to that tower. Now right here, we're going to defend against this prince with an Inferno Tower and some goblins, which honestly isn't really elixir efficient. The prince was 5 elixir and the Inferno Tower plus goblins is 7 elixir, but I do have a full health Inferno Tower left over because of it. And at this point in the battle, guys, my opponent was kind of raging. He threw a rocket and a zap spell at my tower. Honestly, I think he was just upset with my Fire Spirit Hog Rider push earlier on in the battle. So right here, he's going to try and defend his tower on the left-hand side with that Elixir Pump. And at this point in the battle, he's just kind of trolling me. And I'm just going to go ahead for the 3-crown victory. So I'm going to keep pushing with the Hog Rider here. And then some Goblins and some Barbarians as well. So down go the Barbarians. Now, I kind of dropped them in the middle there. And normally they do a split push where I drop them. But for some reason, and I've noticed this a couple of times, just randomly it'll happen. The Barbarians don't actually split up. They'll all go to the right-hand side. So that's kind of weird. Now right here, I'm going to go ahead and use the Musketeer to take out that Princess. Go ahead and use that Zap spell to kill that tower on the left-hand side. And right now, I'm just being super aggressive and trying to go for that 3-crown victory. Now watch this, guys. He drops the Minion Horde right there. One Fire Spirit actually hits the Minion Horde and brings the whole Minion Horde down to 1 health. And right there, we do get the 3-crown victory. So let's go ahead and try and fit in a live battle here. So here we go, guys. Let's try and do a live battle here. We are facing a level 10, and honestly, this morning, I don't know what's up, but I think I faced about 5 or 6 level 10s straight, and he's going to come in hot with that Royal Giant. Unfortunately, I don't have my Inferno Tower in my starting hand to defend against that, and as a result, we take a pretty big amount of damage to our tower. Now, that's a pretty good example of how your starting hand can affect the gameplay, because obviously, if I did have my Inferno Tower in my starting hand, I could have done some better damage, or defended a little bit better against his push. And he does have the Tesla, so unfortunately that Hog Rider push won't do anything. So far things aren't looking too good, not really the greatest opening exchange. I am a bit behind in Elixir because of that little opening exchange, but the Musketeer does go in there and get some damage done to that tower. Now right here, I'm going to let the Ice Wizard lock onto my tower and use the minions to take him out, which maybe wasn't the best decision, but oh well. And will one minion get 1 hit off? Yes, bringing it all the way down to 1900 health. So at this point in the battle, he's going to go ahead and use that Furnace. Unfortunately, I have to use the Barbarians on a split push because I can't use the Inferno Tower yet. And so he does have 2 buildings in his deck, which honestly is a little bit frustrating because my deck does not do very good against people that have 2 buildings in their deck. So I'm going to go ahead and place some Goblins back here, and then once this Royal G goes down, I'm going to go ahead and use the Inferno Tower to distract it, and then use the Musketeer up here. Because what I want the Musketeer to do is take out that Princess. I'm going to zap that, which maybe wasn't the best decision. And we'll see if the Musketeer can kill that Ice Wizard. If she does, that'll be pretty good value for that. I'm going to go ahead and use the Fire Spirits here to kill those Goblins. And boom, Goblins dead. So overall, we're defending pretty good considering the level difference we have here. Now, once that Tesla goes down, can we do a split push, or sorry, a pig push on the left-hand side? Or does he have his Tesla back up again? He does not, but unfortunately, I don't have the Fire Spirits with that push. And as a result, those Barbarians will kill my Hog Rider pretty quickly. So if I actually had the Fire Spirits, I could have did some decent damage on the left-hand side there. But unfortunately, I did not. But the Inferno Tower, sorry, does a decent job defending against that Hog Rider, or sorry, the Royal Giant. Once again, he has that Tesla down. Princess goes down. Can I zap all of this just to weaken her a little bit? And then minions going down on the right-hand side. Honestly, this guy has a great counter deck for everything I had. That Furnace is pretty strong against my entire deck. Gonna go ahead and use the Inferno Tower, and then the Goblins on the left-hand side to take that out, and then use the Zap spell here to kill all of that stuff. And honestly, the best outcome for this battle might be holding out for a draw, given what kind of troops he has. Let's do a Hog Rider Fire Spirits push on the left-hand side here, and then the Musketeer on the right. The Fire Spirits do some decent damage to those Barbarians, but unfortunately they are level 10, so they don't actually get too weak because of it. Now right there, the Musketeer doing work against that Princess, taking her out. The Zap spell is going to kill all of this stuff here, and unfortunately my Zap doesn't kill the Goblins, and as a result the Inferno Tower doesn't lock onto the Royal Giant. So right there, that's a pretty good example of how much the level of your cards can impact the outcome of a battle. So like I said earlier, I think the best outcome here is holding out for a draw. I'm going to go ahead and just play super defensive on this right hand side. Use the Zap spell here to weaken all this stuff here. And then I'm going to go ahead and use the Inferno Tower here. I don't care that he doesn't have his Royal Giant down. I'm just trying to protect my tower and hold out for a draw. So there we go, we do hold out for the draw against a level 10. But anyways, that's going to do it for today's video. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and we'll see you in the next video.